Reach is designed to connect directly to your existing security products. One, to understand current policies and configurations, and then two, to have an understanding of the types of attacks and what's being delivered to our end users. Now, as we start to look through some of these recommendations that we're suggesting, one of the things that we'll see at the top for each one of these recommendations is how these individual controls for these different policies map to various security and compliance frameworks. So in this case, we can see several of them at the top here: NIST CSF, CIS, ISO 2701, CMMC, that we're mapping these policies for these different products back to these different frameworks. And as we look through the different sets of recommendations, we can see that each one is going to correlate back to a different set of controls for these various frameworks. Now, as we're working through these recommendations, one of the things that we'll see a new view in Reach is this new compliance view. What this is going to allow us to do is actually take all of that data that's being gathered automatically, doing this mapping back to these different controls, and give us a way to quickly view and have an understanding of where we can actually leverage these Reach recommendations and where we've already used some of these recommendations in our own environment. So for example, MITRE DEFEND, maybe I want to just start to use this as a way to kind of understand, coverage in my environment, where we have gaps. And I can start to see a couple of them here where we've actually utilized some of the recommendations based off of Reach. And then I can see some other ones here where I have different controls and different recommendations for other parts of the MITRE DEFEND framework. Now I can also start to look at our different frameworks that we want to map this to. Maybe I also want to see my data related to something like the NIST cybersecurity framework. And if I scroll to the right here, I'll start to see same kind of idea where we have our controls that we're starting to map into our various sections of the framework. So just a quick overview of how we can start to use the new compliance view in Reach, really to kind of automate, one, gathering this data, and then two, making it easier to track and understand how we're using our security tools to map to these various frameworks that we're trying to adhere to.